Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the rinks in Hauppauge. A JV matchup is on the docket. KPC versus East Islip, sure to be another good one, as we had a game go to overtime in our first matchup here on the South Rinks between ESM and Longwood. Hopefully this game can deliver on the promise that we were. I don't even know how that game happened, Magnus. And obviously I do have to introduce you properly before we start the conversation. My name's Kevin Broderick, joined by Magnus Healy, Walter Mitchell over on the camera. We got a whole other crew behind us over on the North Rink. Travis Quigley, as well as Paul Trentini, Sam Musnick, and Gabe DeCurry, as always, on the social media. I mean, what a first game.
I mean, it was incredible, Kev. From start to finish, they were flying up and down the ice. The Sharks had the possession, then the Lions, the Sharks. But nonetheless, the book has opened a new page as we look to this JV matchup tonight.
Absolutely. Both of these teams entering the matchup with a solid record of 3-1. Obviously, KPC and East Islip, two notoriously good programs in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League, so this is going to mean something for either side. 15 minutes on the clock for the first period, as we should be getting underway in just a couple of seconds. Had the pleasure of calling a couple of these games for both KPC and East Islip, so with a little bit of knowledge that I have, Magnus, I can tell you that this one going to be a lot of offense on either side. I mean, you just have to look at East Islip's varsity team to know that they score a lot, as the puck is dropped and we are underway on the South Rinks for game number 2. Later on, it's going to be another junior varsity matchup between Smithtown Hauppauge and St. Anthony's. The Friars team that will be playing later on, undefeated. Smithtown Hauppauge's team playing later on hasn't won a game just yet. And the official is Smithtown Hauppauge blue, because they obviously have red, and St. Anthony's black, because they also have gold. As a poke check comes here from Blashuk, he'll wheel this one up ice into a 2-on-1 as he slides it over to the left side, just underneath the stick of his teammate. Chiefs keep it in deep. Kearney trying to get on top of the puck as it goes down below the goal line. Blashuk tips it along to the right wing corner, pinch in down low, and the Chiefs have numbers. Nothing in front of the net as a centering feed, and was taken away by DeFeo, and he'll get this one going himself. DeFeo, pass off to his left. This could be a breakaway coming up for KPC. Quick shot, and the save is made as we get our first pause of the game. Joseph Sasso in the net for the Chiefs, who just made that save. At the other end, I believe that is Grayson Ebley, wearing number 5 instead of his listed 32, so it looks like he's got a little bit of, some new drapes on it.
Certainly, you see that also on the Longwood side. They had some new drapes as well, but I'm seeing some great transitional play early on from the Knights, getting back and forth.
As Justin Lemaire has it down low, tries to send it off the far boards, hits the referee on that side, so hopefully he's okay and shakes that one off, as the puck will be sent down for an icing. First one back was Burke, and the Knights will happily oblige and walk back 200 feet. Try to test Sasso more early on in this frame.
Yeah, get some pressure on. Look for a centering opportunity to someone like Schwartz or Chicas, and get it in the net early here and put the pressure on Sasso, as you had mentioned.
Pass up the boards, not going to clear the zone, as Smith was there for it. Coyle, the captain of this team, does work at the far point. Banks out for Schwartz. Nice little dangle there from Schwartz as he cuts past the blue. Schwartz trying to go middle and can't get through the last man of Robert Harrison. Back for Burke, a backhander taken away by the Chiefs, but they're going to be called off sides. A little unfortunate right there.
Yeah, aggressive play from East Islip, trying to get down the sheet, work into their offensive zone, and get something going. Put the pressure on Ebel, but you get called for the offsides. It does give you that reset opportunity, get some new men on the field with your, or the ice, excuse me, with your second line.
Kelly wraps down below his net. Reynolds was out in front to provide a little bit of support. KPC hold in off the far point and bank it in for Coyle to set up on the forecheck. Worked up the near wall, rattles around between a couple of sticks. There's Smith almost breaking away for a shot in the slot. Waterman does follow it up with a drive, hits a body, Another chance to clear, this time for Reynolds. Hits some traffic. Still strong on his skates and pushes Smith out of the zone with the puck. I got a correction there, as linesman said they were onsides the entire time, so it allows Coyle to keep it. Coyle to Smith, looking for a shot, can't work it through Kelly. Wraps it around to the near side. Sasso tracking it the entire time. Here's Kelly with it now. Finally finding some room. Pitches it to the far boards. Pops back down low to the goal line. Coyle looks to dance one-on-one. Reynolds bumps him away. Now Reynolds comes together with a couple more bodies. This is off for Smith. This is away for Bamonte, and the puck does clear the zone. Waterman with control. Bogorowski right in front of him. Long pass goes off the boards for Smith. He has some room, lining up a wrist shot. Whistles in front of the crease. Carries all the way back into the Knights' own end.
Hey, great job from the Knights thus far, getting the puck around, but the Chiefs on the other end matching their men very well.
DeFeo looking for a centering feed. And the Chiefs find it down low, send it away. Magnus, I was here last night to watch a game between Northport Huntington. Well, not just watch it. I was here to call it as well. Hi, Paul. How you doing, Paul? As I was calling a game between East Islip and Northport Huntington. And that was a varsity matchup. East Islip getting handed their second loss of the season. Northport Huntington, I said it was their marquee victory so far. And the varsity season's heating up. The reason why I tell you this, as a shot is taken from the low left circle, Knights do get in front of it and clear it away. The reason I tell you this, varsity matchup's about to start on the North Rink, so make sure you go check those out. Travis Quigley will be on the call. Centering feed, Knights tap it towards Sasso, and it slides off the left side of the goal. EI lucky to get away with that. Muller looking to the opposite end. Watching her, gives it away, and it is cleared out by Luke Leroux. Up ahead now for a shot. Blaszczuk puts it a little off target on the left side. Puck is up for grabs below the goal line. Wrapped around, tapped out in front. EI looking for their first, and DeFeo comes in to clear it away. Goes skate to stick as he accidentally kicks it a little bit too far, but has the speed to make up. DeFeo now past the blue line, loading up for a shot. Too many bodies in front of him, and I believe it was Inga pushing him away. Moeller has to be the last man back here, looking for the stick check pass. Does come off. A shot from Leroux is fought off down low. Good job from Ebley to stay strong when his team needed it early on in this frame. Harrison at the far point. Down low now for Collin. Tries to battle it out in front. And good stick work from KPC. This is Geekus with it. Up the left wall. Geekus loading up a shot. Sasso has it down low. And pinched it just right underneath that right leg. As we got another pause with 9:30 to play in the first period.
Yeah, a chance for you to breathe here, Kev, as the Chiefs and the Knights flying up and down this sheet. Both teams doing a great job. You know, rebounds are so crucial, especially when you have bodies down low. Getting the puck out of harm's way saves your goalie the extra stress, and it gives you opportunities up top near the blue line as well. And I'm seeing a great job of that from guys like Colin Inga tonight as he handles the puck now.
Inga looking middle. Too many sweaters. Would you say that's a little bit of a brown and gold?
Maroon?
Maroon, it could be maroon. As Reynolds trying to shut us up and get us back on topic. His shot will carry him off to the left wing corner. Comes back now for Kearney. Kearney getting out in front. A shot, rebound, they score! EI find the first of the game, put their side up by 1. As we'll take a replay of that here on the LI Sports Network. Yeah, right there's Kearney. Looks for a better angle, wraps it up top, shot. Big bounce out, and well, that's why you go down low for rebound opportunities.
Yeah, as we had just mentioned, coming off of the short break, as how important the rebound had been thus far, and the great job that East Islip and both the Knights have been doing as well to clear it out of harm's way. And just when I say that, the announcer's jinx kicks in, and East Islip capitalizes on a missed rebound.
So it goes number 91, Kyle Kearney, to number 45, Colin Inga. As another opportunity comes out in front. This time Ebley gets on top of it with 8:37 to play in the first. So East Islip finding the goal there. With the way it was going, I really thought KPC would have been the first one onto the board. As the face-off's going to move to the right side of Ebley.
Yeah, but pressure was definitely coming from KPC early on. They were in the offensive zone pretty consistently, but the ability to clear from a guy like Inga, who just picked up his goal as well, saved the offensive possession for East Islip as they threaten now.
Puck popping up in the neutral zone. Leroux will kick it in. Waterman should be the first one back to collect. Has some pressure coming in on the forecheck. Looks off to the side with Smith. Gives it over to Coyle. Here's Coyle with it now. Trying to weave around Reynolds. Coyle works it back. Bamonte, tap pass to his captain. Smith there with Coyle in the left wing corner. Coyle trying to get it off to Smith, walking at the goal line, sends it out in front, a quick shot, and Sasso gets over in time. Good save for the netminder of EI. Keeps his score sheet clean for now.
Yeah, good job there. You had the centering, not necessarily centering, but you had him on the far side. It was Kevin Schwartz, a little wrister, but to the chest nonetheless of Sasso.
Muller, long range. Sasso pops up a rebound. Coyle trying to get to it, and then Sasso takes a belly flop on top of the puck. Another pause with 7:49 left in the period. Another draw coming in the offensive end for KPC. One out by Coyle. It's worked to the blue line. Big shot coming up from DeFeo. Deflects down low. Comes around the boards and swept out of the zone by EI. Coyle finds a loose puck and just barely called off sides there. Little unfortunate for Coyle.
Yeah, that's the one thing you wanted to do. The Kings Park Knights have struggled with their penalty minutes. They've allowed a little bit, or the Chiefs, excuse me, have allowed a little bit too much. You like to play a little bit cleaner of a game.
DeFeo taking a skate around the entirety of the rink. Looks middle, almost has a shot, and then one does come through. A little off target for Watchinger. Puck still in a bit of a spin cycle. Moeller tries to hold it up, gets it back to Watchinger, and it's taken away by Bogorowski. EI off the boards. You were going to say, Magnus?
I was just going to say another good job in transition, but Knights battle back.
Nice hit in open ice. That will get the puck over to Friesen. Here's Bryan trying to put the brakes on. Checked by Pugh, and he'll take it. Backhander ahead and a little bit mishandled, so this time it's Matthew Friesen. Now off for DeFeo. DeFeo centering feed. Pops around a couple of times. Karam's off to the right wing corner. DeFeo past Reynolds. Gets it back to the blue line. Long range wrist shot is coming. Tipped by Friesen. Incidentally giving it away down low to Watchinger. Will carry it below the goal line. Now a backhand centering feed. Swipes through the entire slot. Ends up with a shot from Muller, and Sasso will get down in his butterfly to make the save into his chest. We'll get a wholesale line change coming out from both sides. Still 1-0 for East Islip.
Yeah, the Chiefs or the Knights, excuse me, are having a lot of good time of possession. They're getting the puck back and forth between the lines, but they're not getting anything down low. They're not getting any centering opportunities like you may have liked. Nothing near the crease, but that'll come in due time.
Reynolds potentially looking for Blaszczuk. Can't feed him through that many sticks. Geekus now keeping it alive at the far point. In the midst of 3 EI players, it's tipped off his stick right back for the Chiefs. Schwartz holds it this time, and he'll dump it down low to set up the forecheck. First man back is Lemaire. Flips it high into the air, and it's past Burke. Blaszczuk trying to get there first, but Kevin Schwartz, one of the fastest players in the game right now, does beat it out. Plays it safely into center ice, and comes back for his team right away. Blaszczuk good on the forecheck, but can't take it away from Geekus. Nice dangle around Lemaire. Geekus now into the slot, shot blocked by Reynolds. As East Islip, safe pair of hands with Blaszczuk. He's almost had a couple of breakaways on this shift. Now has to generate it with his own legs. Pinched off by Schwartz. Puck pops free for Burke. Challenged down low at the goal line. Held alive for East Islip. They'll send it to the near side. Should be KPC puck. Jake Landman up to Schwartz with some speed. Tipped off for Kelly, has Reynolds behind him if need be. Kelly, some trouble staying on his skates. Nice crunch coming to the boards, now a chance to clear once more. And it's all the way back for Schwartz, instantly turns around. Good pass to Landman. Landman with Geekus in front of him, back checked by Kearney, and his team called off sides as Geekus was a hair over.
Yeah, another look again from East Islip with Lemaire doing a great job of sending the puck back, as nonetheless it does get back to Schwartz, who does a good job of looking for opportunities in the neutral zone, but a battle nonetheless between the lines.
This time it's Coyle on for the faceoff. Not going to win it out as Inga has control, gives it back to his D-core. Puck quickly flipped over to Reynolds. Put into the offensive end and all the way down for an icing as Waterman was the first man back.
Yeah, I watched Waterman in an earlier KPC Knights game. I believe it was the one against Northport. One thing I had noticed is his job skating backwards and getting back on defense for this Knights squad had been such a vital point into how the success of this defense on this squad has been. The transition game from them as well has been a phenomenal job to keep the pressure as well off of Ebel.
Price him around for his brother and said it's touched up. Costanzo got there first, trying to walk it off the wall, and said it's pitched high and into the neutral zone. KPC had the bodies back to once again feed it to their forwards. This time it's Smith past the blue line. Smith leaves it off. Coyle on the backhand. Sweeps it through the blue paint. Not a lot of danger right there. Waterman extending his stick to try to hold the puck in the zone. Couple of players tying up. East Islip do get it free, but not with possession. Instantly tapped back towards them. Here's Brian Freisum. Elusive around two sticks. Freisum past the blue line now all by himself. One more poke check. Not able to get the shot off. Almost did. Ebley should have been there in position. He was, obviously. Poke check from him. Steers it off to Coyle. Coyle now skating forward 3-on-2. Around one poke check. Make this 2-on-1 down low. Pass off to Smith. Can he get the shot off? Looking for Coyle one more time. And they almost had a backdoor tuck. Stays at 0, though, for KPC as they still trail this game. Puck dangerously near the blue line. Kept alive by Smith. Freisum back for it. Will allow his brother to take it instead, so Brian tries to get it up the boards. Cut off by Smith. Looks out into the middle. Deflects up high into the slot. Shot up coming. Sasso got it down low. Rebound. Smith. He scores. Back to an even keel. It's 1-1 as KPC have their first of the night.
The rebound game that we had said would be so important tonight out in front. You have it at the top near the blue line. Sends a wrister down low. Off the pad there of Sasso out in front, and it gives a beautiful opportunity for Kings Park Commack to even this one up at 1.
So 1 goal aside through the first 12 minutes of play. We got 3 left in the first period. Obviously a lot of hockey to follow that as we're going to get an offsides whistle from the far linesman. Chance to reset for both of these teams as W back over in his crease, just doing a couple of warm-up drills with himself. Again, I always say this, goaltending's such a mental position. Obviously, you have your routine, you have everything set down to a T. It's not like you're going to be doing things dramatically differently from game to game. Just sometimes it's about your mental sharpness and just how well that translates from minute to minute, if not week to week. Yes. Sasso gets it down low. KPC put it off the boards with Watchinger. Puck forced off his stick. Pugh battling Lemaire. Will get possession below the goal line. Not able to center it out in front as Harrison was standing in front of him, waiting for the play the entire time. Now cleared by Bogorowski.
But the thing as well that you had mentioned with how important the mental game is you let up a shorthanded goal, or whether or not it's your fault or the defense's inability to get back in transition, you need to remain focused on the end goal. You're only, a minute in to 45 here, and you got to remain focused minute and second by second, and then it's just the next play, next man up.
Absolutely. I never had any desire to play goalie in any sport when I was growing up, so you always got to tip your hat to the souls that do. As this is a lot of speed for DeFeo. Shakes off a hit but loses his stick. Has to get back onto it. Luckily it's not broken for him. Up top to Schwartz now. Dances at the blue line. Shot. Sasso finds the save. Rebound still underneath him. Now gets the whistle from the referees. Buck 27 to play in the period.
Yeah, Sasso learning from the prior goal from Matthew Smith that, okay, if the puck hits my chest, I need to hear a whistle before I can relax. I need to jump on this puck and avoid anything out in front and avoid any opportunities early for the Knights.
Here's Geekus on the face-off. One for KPC. They give it to Kevin Schwartz, extending his hand for a little bit of puck protection. Sends it down low for Landman. Slides it in front, and somehow no one ends up touching it. Burke will go back into the neutral zone. Kearney is there, but not fast enough to get all the way over to Burke. Schwartz, a little bit of trouble handling it. Will force a turnover. Kelly cycles it down low. Here's Landman with it again. Landman dumps it off. Schwartz with it once more. This time Schwartz easily through the neutral zone. Schwartz, one good move. Schwartz on the backhand. Couldn't have elevated above Sasso. Rebound does end up with Geekus. Geekus looking middle, and it was tipped just barely. Burke now in a foot race. This could be numbers for East Islip, but Burke does get there in time. Good read on the play from Kelly. He'll pick it up at the red line. Looks for something towards Ebley, but his defense was well positioned. Now Schwartz trying to find a turnover in the neutral zone. Comes back to his tendy, and he'll hand off for Burke. Pressed by LaRoe. Blaszczuk almost getting it. Instead, it's going to be KPC up the ice. KPC now with Schwartz in one-on-one. He scores! Kevin Schwartz puts his team in the lead for the first time tonight. 2-1 KPC.
With the seconds ticking down in the first period, a great job across the neutral zone they go. He's got Schwartz wide open, feeds it through, and he's got some pressure on his backside, but he does a great job of elevating it. Low shot past the outstretched glove of Sasso to give them the lead with 3 seconds to go in the first period.
That's a great way to end the period if you are Kevin Schwartz, as the clock will hit zeros here on the LI Sports Network. We'll be back for the second in just a moment. And we're back for the second period. 15 minutes onto the clock as KPC have found the last 2 goals in the game to take a 2-1 lead. East Islip obviously finding the first, and they're trying to get back to their goal-scoring ways to knock this game up. On the face-off, it's LaRoe and Coyle. Priceum trying to sweep at the puck. Costanzo does get it in deep for Coyle. Looking to tie up in the right wing corner. Bounces around a little bit. Then Blaszczuk almost shot it onto his own net. Blaszczuk now tapping it down well. Waterman behind him. Will angle Blaszczuk away from the net. Blaszczuk still strong with it. Works to the goal line. Sends it towards Ebley. And then Nice little acrobatic snatch for him with the glove, forces a whistle, and we'll go to another face-off.
Yeah, early on, East Islip getting down the ice, putting some pressure on Ebley, who hasn't really had much to worry about thus far. Only one goal allowed, and it was earlier on in the first period, but they look to remain strong on defense and in transition and limit the penalty minutes for East Islip.
Coyle into a 2-on-1, thinking shot, gets it down low, rebound opportunity, and Smith almost tucked it in. Squawk through Sasso right there. Squawk, my favorite word. That's not a word, by the way. Blaszczuk looking for a 2-on-1 of his own. Friesen keeps it in deep. Waterman after it, picks it off the boards, wraps it back around the other way. Held up by East Islip for a second. This could develop into another 2-on-1, but luckily this time it was Matthew back, and it would have been the same pair. It would have been Smith and Coyle. That's really not the pair that you want coming with a breakaway either.
Now, certainly one that's already an assist and a goal, respectively, one of the captains as well.
Puck loose out in front. Ebley trying to track it. It's denied down low by Waterman. Circles up to the corner. LaRoe looking around. Almost had it tipped. Smith will get there to the far boards, looking to dance away from the pressure, putting himself back into danger, still gets it out, but not finding the tape of Coyle. Friesen ahead, gives it away. Now Smith will race back into his own end to try to build some speed. Sees Coyle, hits him this time. Coyle past the blue line. All the way over the left circle as Coyle twirls around, has Smith lining up for the one-timer. Not going to let it fly. It's up top across DeFeo. Works it left. DeFeo looking for a tip. Almost had the stick of Smith down low, and instead it works for Kearney. Kyle Kearney looking for DeFeo. A shot does go wide over to the right side. Works around. Now Ebley battling that one away. Go to work on the rebound control as DeFeo is able to find it first. Inga comes flying in. Inga does send it towards the slot. Puck still a little loose. And now KPC can breathe a little bit easier. Into the offensive end once more. Watchinger giving it back for his captain, Coyle. Coyle will shadow him down below the goal line. Now pulls up. Coyle trying to feed it. DeFeo will get the stick. DeFeo looking for a shot. It's broken away. Puck a little slow. Work back up towards the blue line. Now a shot with traffic, not going to get through it. KPC, more extended O-zone time. Work to Watchinger. Mishandles the puck. Robert Harrison trying to clear. It's to DeFeo. Still not past DeFeo. Now he has numbers down low. DeFeo with a lot of speed slides it to the other side. What a save by Sasso. Gets over. Working left to right and shuts the door.
What a job. Joseph Sasso, have yourself a day. Slides on his knees. The great job there from DeFeo on the centering bid.
Play's not over yet as Inga flying into the offensive line. Looking for a tip. Kearney scores. Right out in front, Kyle Kearney into the kitchen for EI second.
And we find ourselves tied once again. A great job there from Kyle Kearney. It looked like he was trying to get down low, possibly a centering bid, but he doesn't. Instead, puts it in the net himself, bottom left, and we are tied at 2 with 11:16 to go in this second period. Do we see another game reminiscent of what we saw in the first one?
Listen, I thought this game was going to be high scoring. It's proving that way so far. Obviously, we're not even halfway through the entirety, and we already have 4 goals between the two teams. Bogorowski trying to add another one as he's working through a forest of sticks right there. Puck eventually deflecting to the left wing corner. Number 76 is right back onto it. Bogorowski still strong, trying to wrap on the near side, and Ebley got over in time.
Inga credited with the assist to Kearney. A good job thus far, as Kearney now has an assist and a goal on the night, contributing in many ways to this KPC squad. East Islip squad, excuse me.
Kelly off the half wall. His shot is low and left. Works free for Pugh. Has a little bit of time to make a decision. Sends a saucer that lands down in the neutral zone. A rolling puck, not exactly what he wanted as Reynolds comes away with it. Works right back to Pugh. This time in a little bit of a better position. Looks for something out in front. Hits off the skate of Reynolds and almost deflects towards the net. I think Sasso might have gotten a piece of it. As we're getting some exclamations from the parents in attendance. They wanted a call in favor of KPC, but we're going to stay at 5-on-5 as the clock ticking towards that 10-minute mark in the second. Burke not able to hold off the far point. Bogorowski checking over his shoulder to see what his options are. Dangles through one, leads it off. Shot coming, doesn't get underneath. And now we're going to get a penalty. So if the first power play of the game should belong to East Islip as they get their unit out onto the ice.
Opportunity now, and it's a little bit of a script that has been flipped. East Islip averages around a period in the box for themselves. As you look, can they take advantage of the power play and try to get, a goal on their side?
Face-off looks like it will be taken by Luke Leroux. Instead, he'll opt for Blaszczuk instead. Blaszczuk off to Leroux, sends it to the blue line, instantly gets it back from Matthew Freisa. Blaszczuk in the slot trying to turn for a shot, gets it to Lemaire. Lemaire trying to stay with it, but Eberle was able to poke it away, and now it's slid down 200 feet. Sasso will come out of his net to play it, looking for the stick of Leroux, gets it to him, looking back for Freisa and overplays him by a couple of feet. So Freisa just taking a couple more seconds, but it's an important couple of seconds.
Certainly giving your guys a chance to breathe, size up some opportunities, as this power play is a crucial one.
Kearney barely holding on to possession. He'll rim it around the boards. Lemaire will go after it. Justin Lemaire pinched in, finds the open man in Blaszczuk, has Leroux, gives it to him. Leroux trying to return the favor. Geekus gets in that passing lane. Geekus trying to clear off the skate and back to the stick of Matthew Freisa. Matthew Freisa pitches it down to his brother. Taken by KPC, somehow slides out in front. Freisa a backhand try, still loose in the crease. Second opportunity, and Eberle gets over with the right leg.
A great job from Grayson Eberle. Slides across the net, post to post he goes, and a little pad save, and a good clear following from Schwartz, and a good penalty kill thus far from the Knights.
Justin Lemaire will bank it around. Kearney allows Blaszczuk to skate it off the wall, looking to give it back. Leroux just pops it over towards the corner. Blaszczuk pressed by Coyle. It's a 2-on-2 down low. Puck squeaks free, and now it's away for Coyle. Coyle, if he has the speed, will be into a 1-on-1 breakaway. Blaszczuk on the back truck. Coyle looking for the backhand finish. Couldn't get it back on net. And Sasso takes a deep breath, doing enough on that shorthanded opportunity. 5 seconds left on the power play. One last rush for EI. It's Kyle Kearney, stick handling, giving it off. Back for Kelly. Kelly down low to the goal line. It's Blaszczuk. Blaszczuk trying to shove it in off the far post, and it's tipped aside. Chance for Coyle to clear, gets a little bit of help, and is now once again into the neutral zone. Kyle Coyle, plenty of speed, hard shot. Sasso gives up a rebound. Blaszczuk is there to help out his goaltender. Giving right back to Kyle Kearney as this game becomes a bit of a track meet. We're exactly halfway through with 7:30 to play in the second period. Kelly on the dump in. Coyle with plenty of space and time. Coyle looking to take this one up himself as he fades off to the left side of the blue line. Coyle now around Reynolds with an angle in on net. Sasso saves that initial shot. Rebound comes to Coyle and he gives it right over. Chance for EI to build some steam. It's Ingo with it currently. He's already scored a goal, drops it off. Shot saved by Eberle.
I hadn't had the chance, as you had mentioned. It's been a track meet to kind of give you my 2 cents on that penalty kill from the Knights, but it was a very successful one at that. You give yourselves some opportunity with the chance of Coyle there. Despite them being shorthanded, finds himself one-on-one. Couldn't drag the puck across the blue paint, but a very successful job from the Knights, and now you're still knotted up at 2. What can you get going in your own O-zone?
Bogorowski not able to hold it in, so it comes for Pugh with a little bit of room up the left wall. Pugh dragging on the backhand, looking for a centering feed. It's whiffed on, still loose in the crease. Shot, they score! DeFeo makes up, picks the 5-hole, and makes it 3-2 KPC.
just as I had mentioned, you look to get the opportunity down low. As they go in transition, a good job for KPC to take the lead here.
And here's the replay. And the shot, I think, just barely beating Sasso down low in the 5-hole. Now making it a 3-2 score. KPC on top. Blaszczuk giving it back over to Reynolds. Looks down the ice and should be an icing. Referees will enforce, so we'll go to East Islip's end. Exactly where KPC want to be, as realistically, they want to make this a 2 or 3 goal lead, not just the 1.
Yeah, continue with this momentum that they've built. You know, DeFeo stays with the rebound out in front, follows his shot off the pad of Sasso and finishes. And now you could stack maybe goals on top of each other. Certainly build some comfort for both Ebel and Net and both your team in general.
As the puck will accidentally go into the penalty box for Kevin Schwartz, so we'll take another face-off from the neutral zone.
And not to get discouraged if you're the Chiefs, you've played really clean. It's just you kind of get unlucky. Not enough of your own bodies out in front to clear anything on the rebound, and you give DeFeo a golden opportunity.
Blaszczuk trying for a wild backhand, pops back out in front. Ebley just barely able to extend with the right leg. Once again keeps the puck clear from the line, and his team will wheel it up in front of him. It's Washington with it right now, trying to settle that rolling puck. Gets it all the way to the left wing corner. Lemaire trying to press him into the boards. Looking for the pass off. Still loose in the left wing corner. It's a 3-on-2 in favor of East Islip. LaRoe just jabbing at it. Does pop it free. Then it's swept right back towards the skates. 3 players on either side now joining the little squall that we have going down low. Still being kicked around, and no one's able to find it. Finally comes free for Blaszczuk, and he has some room to build speed. Challenging Burke. Kevin Schwartz is behind him. This is a hard defensive pair to break. Blaszczuk down to the goal line, looking to send it towards the middle. Kevin Schwartz finds it and sends it back towards the red line. Harrison gets around 1. Nice pass the blue line. Harrison looking to drag it towards the middle. Off for Blaszczuk, checked by Landman. Blaszczuk. Now an awkward shot puts the puck off the outside of the net, so it comes loose for Freisum. D-to-D pass at the blue line. Schwartz trying to block the potential shot. Good hand-eye coordination from Landman, and he's going to turn this into a breakaway. It's Landman with Schwartz behind him. Landman takes the shot. Rebound comes out, and no one's able to get there. KPC with another golden opportunity. Can't convert this time as Sasso keeps his team in a reasonable deficit. This time it's Kevin Schwartz. Taken away by Blaszczuk. Comes free. EI still in the zone. Bamonti doing a good job separating that body from the puck, but Kearney comes to it. Kearney looking up to Freisum, instead to send it around the boards. Geekus first one onto it. Freisum skates a skit. Gives it to the left circle. Up top for Kearney again. Lifts it high. Was touched with a high stick, then waved instantly off as it was then retouched by East Islip. This all leads to Geekus back into the offensive end. Geekus on an awkward angle. Sasso makes the save, and we have 4:02 to play in the second period.
Up and down, the Knights have it, then the Chiefs have it. Back and forth we go, up and down the sheet. You know, Kings Park does have a 1-goal lead, but East Islip remains persistent in the offensive zone, finding it around the net near Ebel. But Sasso has had a few great pad saves on the breakaway that Kings Park has been putting on them. So I don't think East Islip is out of the woods yet.
Matthew Freisum to start off this sequence. Rings it around the boards, and his team clears behind him. Bamonti has a little bit of room, looks for the outlet to the far side. Well played by Smith to get it towards Coyle, but not onto his tape. Works back down the wall. Another follow-up play from Bamonti, and this time a poke will clear the zone. Smith with a lot of speed trying to get around the stick, checks, ties up, and does fall down. No penalties on either side. I stand corrected. We will get a whistle. Again, those players got tangled very awkwardly. So I don't exactly know who this penalty is going to go against just yet. And it's going to be interference, I believe, called on East Islip.
An opportunity now for Kings Park with an East Islip power play. They were like a human pretzel flying down that left circle as they get tangled up in an interference, as you mentioned, and now an opportunity for Kings Park.
So KPC trying to establish a 2-goal lead. Coyle will start off the play. Intense battle down low against Kelly. Coyle still there kicking at the puck. It squeaks free for Matthew Freisum, and he'll send it down the sheet. Ebley will hold it there for Waterman, instead giving it off for Bamonte. This time it's Smith on the zone entry. Smith taking the puck all the way in, looking for Coyle out in front, got the shot off, but Sasso was right out in front, knew exactly where that feed was going. Obviously for Sasso, that can be a little bit awkward because you know Smith is wrapping, could pop out the other side, so you might want to get over to the far post, but instead stays there knowing that that centering feed could come out.
Yeah, it's always a nervous feeling as a goalkeeper. You know, when the puck goes behind your own net, you don't know who has it. Is it your own teammate or is it a Knight, and you have to be conscious there, but great awareness, as you had mentioned, from Sasso to kind of know where the puck was going and have that kind of spidey sense to it.
Smith off to Schwartz. Now DeFeo looking for Smith on a long pass. Gets it down low. Smith on a centering feed. Pops right back out for Schwartz. In the high slot, he'll feed it to Smith. DeFeo again. Walks it up a little bit. DeFeo fades off to the left. Smith right there with him. Slides it through the paint, and somehow no one touched it. Coyle trying to hold it in the zone as he battles Kearney on the near boards. 2-on-1 for East Islip. They can also just kill time out here. Kelly with it again, banks it off the high glass. Schwartz is able to hold the rolling puck just at the blue line. DeFeo cross ice, gets it onto the stick of Coyle, tied up instantly, and East Islip can now clear. Good job on the kill so far, but DeFeo is instantly back onto the puck with still 35 seconds on the man advantage. DeFeo dicing it past the blue line. DeFeo looking towards the middle. A shot interrupted. Karam's off to the corner. Held by Coyle. Angled off by Reynolds. He controls now. Spins it around the glass. And it is once again out for East Islip. They're only trailing by one, Magnus. So this PK is critical.
Yeah, really good PK at that. Down a goal and down a man. You remain composed and kill all the time that is necessary to give you guys an opportunity down the stretch here in the second period.
DeFeo has to get to this. He's into it with 3-on-1 with the man out of the box. Does get there and safely play it towards the center ice line. It deflects out into the KPC bench, so we'll take a face-off in the neutral zone. $1:23 remaining in the period.
Opportunity now. The stress of getting a PK is off. You successfully do it, and now it's getting in the offensive zone, trying to get the puck in the center. Put some pressure on Ebel now and get some good passes and some centering bids for your mans.
Bogorowski has some open ice in front of him. Bogorowski on a shot, and Ebley will make the save. Leroux was there for the rebound, and what we've seen East Islip score a couple of times with a man in the kitchen of Ebley.
Yeah, he does a great job there, sticking the glove out. The shot was going to be wide regardless, but electing to keep it himself and avoid it and getting back out front to that far corner and possibly finding its way back to the center near that blue paint.
Leroux for Bogorowski on a shot, not much there. A clear coming out from KPC, almost held alive by Justin Lemaire at the far point. Works free for KPC control again. Justin Lemaire doing great work, directs this back on net. Ebley electing to keep it alive as he gives it off for DeFeo. We know he can skate. This time not around Leroux. On the backhand, tries to send it in deep. DeFeo is there. And this time, he does find the open ice. DeFeo can't cut through Robertson, who is right there. So this is Leroux back down the ice. Ebley will leave it for Muller. Muller will take it. Challenging Leroux. He's good on these board battles. 25 seconds remaining in the second period. DeFeo gives it up for Pugh. Pugh fades right, tap off to DeFeo, looking for one more pass in the sequence. It pops three. Kyle Kearney with one man to beat, but it's Kevin Schwartz, a great skater. Kearney trying to dice around him, is forced onto his backhand, and now Kevin Schwartz will officially shut down the opportunity. 5 seconds left in the period. It should just die out as Lemaire races after it. 30 minutes gone by, 15 remain. KPC lead 3-2, and we'll be right back here on the LI Sports Network. Final 15 of this matchup. KPC trying to go to 4-1 on the season. East Islip, they're looking for the same feat, but they're down by 1. So they need to outplay and win this period in order to do so. Could, in theory, force us to the second overtime today here on the South Rinks. And if you missed that first game between ESI and Longwood, honestly, go back and watch it. It was entertaining the entire time. As Kevin Schwartz in the neutral zone will start us off, gets it off to Burke, works past the blue line. Burke on a wide angle, overskates the puck, and it's played away by Brian Freisum. Kyle Kearney couldn't reel it in, gets back to it, has Inge right in front of him. Kearney fading all the way to the far half wall, gets it back for Freisum. Long drive, almost had a tip in front. 30 seconds gone by, first opportunity belongs to the Chiefs. Puck loose in the corner. And you were going to say, Max?
I was going to say, a good job early of East Islip putting on some pressure in the offensive zone. They had needed it, and their play earlier was shut down on some great transition play from Kevin Schwartz. But threatening now, are they?
Freisum with it again. It's Brian right here. Can't find anything towards the middle as the puck was popped high off the stick. It gets over to his brother now. Matthew goes to Brian in the right circle, looking for Kearney in the high slot. Once again with Matthew. Again to Brian. Challenged by Geekus. Geekus getting some support now from Burke, and he'll come away with the puck. Working up ice. This is Kevin Schwartz back over to Geekus. Geekus with Kearney in front gets the shot on Sasso, and he'll cover up for the save. First pause that will result in a KPC offensive zone draw.
Good for them. You've got the chance to get new guys on the ice, both sides. You start with the advantage, threatening already some pressure on Sasso without the puck even being dropped. Get something over the center to someone, like Waterman. He has a great stick there. Give him the opportunity in an open lane, and you could be looking at a 2-goal lead.
Monty trying to send it back towards his captain, but it's sticked aside by LaRoe. Now a chance to clear for Reynolds. Works up the boards and not out as Bamonte was once again there to hold it in. Another opportunity for Reynolds. Fakes out Coyle. Reynolds walking up, looking for Blaszczuk, hit by Bamonte and falls down to the ice, but does get it out for LaRoe. LaRoe trying to slide it to the middle, just a little bit past his man. KPC, again, they likely aren't thinking about defense too much right now, as a 1-goal lead isn't a whole lot to try to hold on to, as Blaszczuk starting to put the moves on a couple of KPC defenders. Sharp angle, creates a rebound in front, and luckily for KPC, Coyle is there for it. Coyle off to Smith. Smith with a lot of speed, gets it past Reynolds on the feed. Coyle got a shot off, saved by Sasso. Rebound still there, East Islip on top of it, and LaRoe sends it towards the perimeter. Reynolds chips and chases around one. Now Reynolds looking to cut middle, instead fades off to the right side as he has players there for him. Reynolds wraps to the far side, feeds it all the way towards the blue line. Long shot from Kelly, traffic out in front, and this should clear out of the zone for KPC.
A great job there from Waterman getting back, and it was a one-on-one opportunity, and Reynolds has a big stick, but kind of nudging him and forcing him to the right side, keeping him out of harm's way and centering for Ebel, and a great job of forcing him into the corner and knocking down his opportunities.
Smith, left circle, down low, awkward angle. Sasso, he didn't get it. Smith scored. 4-2 now the score. Houdini acts right there. How did he get that in?
I thought it was in the glove of Sasso.
Smith just works it around the arm right there. Sasso is definitely there for it. That's just one of those awkward times where you think that the sweater of the goalie is there, but it's a little loose. I mean, that's 1 in a million right there for Smith, but hey, the old adage, good things happen when you put pucks on net. Definitely true right there as KPC now with a 2-goal lead.
Out of all the things you say in a broadcast, that's got to be one of your favorites. That saying, that phrase.
Yeah,
kind of coined it.
It's true, and I definitely didn't coin it. I've heard many a hockey coach say that before. As a Stony Brook University student, I do a lot of work with the ACHA hockey team for the Statesman, so I interview Chris Garofalo, the head coach. He says that maybe like 20 times a year, something like that. Garo's always good for a quote or two. Kearney off the half wall, popped away from him, and now KPC can get the clear going once more. Again, it was Smith on that awkward angle shot to get his team a goal in this third. Offsides will shut down that momentum. And we'll go back to center ice.
Okay, but Smith's second goal on the day brings it to a 2-goal lead, and suddenly you have a chance to breathe if you're Grayson Ebel. Settle back and trust your defense now in transition.
Bogorowski now watching her. Stick check from Friesen. Gets it off to Kearney. Kearney finding it again in the neutral zone. Looking to dish. Kearney out in front. Great save by Ebley. DeFeo with a man out open. Watching her, trying to get back to the puck. Takes a shot, saved by Sasso off the right leg. Steers it once again towards the perimeter. Muller trying to hold it there. It's chipped around his stick. And now Geekus and the track meet will get to the puck first for KPC. Wheeling this up ice, he has players getting caught in a little bit of a change. Geekus with tons of speed down to the goal line, looking for another shot down low. This time Sasso has it. Friesen up ice. This is Matthew with it. Has Leroux off to his left. Dumps it into the zone. DeFeo there for it. Looking to work around Leroux. Does get past him. Inga will walk down the wall and hold it with his body. With speed around Muller, that puck was dangerously loose and just goes off to the right side of the post.
Yeah.
EI still trying to work with that little advantage they just found. Inga looking for a centering bid. Comes into the skates of Reynolds. He generates a shot and deflects high into the netting here at the rinks. Another pause, 9:39 to play.
Yeah, that puck was to the right side of the foot of Ebel, and no one was there, but a great job from Schwartz to get it out of harm's way. I held my breath there. I thought, if someone was down low like Inga, they could have had a chance to, get this game within one and tap it in, but unfortunate nobody was there, and a lucky break for the Knights.
Dumped in, off the face-off. Kelly coming for a shot. Ebley got it down low. Hanging with it again. Challenged by Schwartz. Gets the shot wrapped around him. KPC now coming away with it with Jake Landman. Head pass. Schwartz trying to drive the net. Instead twirls back. Schwartz for a shot. Sasso gets a piece of it. Comes loose for Burke. As 9 minutes are left in the third period, Burke giving it off to Schwartz. Bogorowski right in front of him. Kelly works it off the boards and dumps it in. Goes off for a change as well. EI with this game starting to dwindle in front of them. They need 2 goals in order to tie us up. It would be double their current total.
You need a break on offense. You need to see something down low. They haven't gotten the opportunity in the center. Maybe luck will draw their way eventually, and we'll be, as hockey fans, get treated with our second OT thriller of the night. One could hope.
Blaszczuk, good little move. Couldn't get the pass past Burke. Here's Geekus into the offensive end. One good move, loading up the shot, just goes high of the bar. Geekus getting his own rebound. Overskates it actually a little bit, so now it's a tough battle down low with him and Reynolds right there. Reynolds will come away with it. Excuse me, that's Robert Harrison off the boards. Harrison will dump in, goes wide of the cage, bounces off the end boards for a potential shot. Instead, it's Kevin Schwartz with it. Schwartz, we know he can really skate. Long stretch pass, hits Smith. Smith behind the defense, he's in for the hat trick. Smith doesn't score. Sasso got over with the paddle, and Harrison was back to help out his netminder. So KPC, maybe not done with this play just yet. Costanzo looking for Smith there. Harrison had his stick in the passing lane, knocks it down, but Coyle comes away with it as he picks it off the goal line. Coyle, nice move, looking for a shot from the slot, instead deflects off to Smith. Smith up top for Schwartz. Schwartz, Smith again. Has Burke rotating towards him. Burke holds it in the zone, setting up for a slap shot. Sasso the save. Rebound comes for another chance, and Sasso with a flurry of stops keeps this game at 4-2.
Shot after shot after shot coming from this Knights squad, and Sasso remains composed with some help down low from Harrison as well. But, you know, when you have a guy like Smith who is hungry, as you mentioned, for his hat trick one-on-one with you, it's a little scary. But just slide his right pad in there, and it interrupts possibly a 5-2 lead.
Back out into center ice with Waterman. Tries to turn the corner on Bogorowski as they both collide at the far boards. 7 minutes to play in the third period. We're more than halfway through. And East Islip definitely not winning it out so far. They need to turn the narrative around for the final 7. We'll start off for Waterman. Loses it out. Almost a centering feed for Bogorowski. Instead, it's Coyle, the captain of KPC. Towards the end of his shift, he's still finding a bit of speed to force this puck in deep. Matthew Friesen tries to work it away from him. Instead, it's up top to the blue line with Waterman. Turns it over, and Bogorowski lost a step right there. Does get back onto it. Still could make something of this as the puck now caroms off into the corner. KPC shut down that rush opportunity, but now a penalty called that's going to go against the Knights, and 5-on-4 upcoming for East Islip.
Yeah, one slight little overskate costs what could have been another goal. You lose just that half a step, and you allow Waterman to get back and back check you now as going to the box. That'll be Beaumonte. So now an opportunity as well for the Knights with a chance to capitalize and possibly bring themselves within 1.
As we're going to get a timeout here in the rinks, so we'll take a pause here on the LI Sports Network as well and be right back with the final 6:16 of play. And we're back to live. East Islip trying to find a conversion on this power play. Puck all the way into their own end to start it off. Not exactly the ideal way to start a power play, as the parents for East Islip want another penalty to make it a 5-on-3, but it will stay 5-on-4. Blaszczuk picks up off the handoff, looking to return the favor down low. And it's another save for KPC, an important one right there. Always got to make sure no opportunities come off the rebounds. It's the quickest way that East Islip will be able to tie up this game.
Yeah, but certainly you're gifted a golden opportunity here, but a great job from Carter Woschinger to just do a phenomenal job of stick checking. He's persistent and he's consistent with his back checks.
Blaszczuk twirling around. DeFeo poked it away from him. KPC good on this PK so far. LaRoe trying to hold it at the far point, and instead it will be Justin Lemaire with it. Friesen to Kearney. Tipped off his stick, but not in the place he wanted. Comes all the way back for Matthew Friesen. Now into the zone. Blaszczuk looking for Kearney's stick. Instead, it deflects off to the corner. Kearney does get over. Now LaRoe gives it off. Blaszczuk in a dangerous area. Finds the open man, and Kearney takes the shot. Blocker save, rebound. Pops all the way out to Friesen. Mishandles the puck, then that's it back towards Ebley, and he will make the save. 4:51 to play in regulation. 36 seconds left in the power play.
These Knights, they're just running this like post-looking thing over the middle, And that center, in line with the blue paint, there's no opportunities for the Chiefs. No men have gotten in that little column that you have down low, and no centering bid has been successful, and that's what's been the killer in both their PKs in the game tonight.
Kevin Schwartz had his stick knocked out of his hand, so wasn't able to break the puck out. Now is still without his stick as he has to go down low, so this is an even bigger advantage for East Islip. Looking for a pass down the law. Geekus tying up well. Landman with an opportunity to clear, so Schwartz will go over to his stick. Does pick it back up even though the puck was not out of the zone. Inga picks it. Walks the goal line down below the goal. Looking for a pass out in front. Freisum couldn't pull the cord. Now Inga on his own shot. Couldn't find the angle. 3 seconds left on the power play. One more opportunity, and now it's sent the length. Sasso making sure to communicate with Kelly that the man is out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. 4 minutes to play in regulation. Burke on the blue line causes his team to be offsides, as we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone now.
If there was a power play ever more important for the Chiefs, that was it right there. It's a huge momentum builder, and for most of it, you had Schwartz, who's their best defender and overall skater, without a stick. So it was essentially a 5-on-3, and you couldn't even capitalize on that. And that's kind of a testament and a telltale as to what this game has been for the Chiefs.
Puck given to Kevin Schwartz, the aforementioned player who lost his stick on the PK. Dumps it in. That should go for an icing and will. As Schwartz looks over to his head coach, who is just hands in the air, asking Kevin exactly what he did. I believe that is Sean Kendrick.
Well, with a player who has that much impact, both on defense and transition, I would be mystified as a coach as well as to how well he has played for the Knights, tonight.
Oh, excuse me. That was Robert Coco. Sean Kendrick is the coach for East Islip. Because I looked down the list and I was like reading off the coach's name, and it was Daniel Barbarito. He's an East Islip guy. Why would he be coaching for KPC? And I was like, oh, I read the wrong name. Got to correct that. Blashuk off the wall. Into the left circle, runs into a couple of bodies. Burke trying to get it off to the perimeter again. Reynolds is there, looking for Leroux. To the corner, he gives it to Kearney. Kearney working back the other way. Has Reynolds open for the shot. Can't get it off as he's checked from behind the entire time. Leroux with it, looking for Blashuk. Has it. Harrison almost poked it in on the other side. Harrison up top. Reynolds with it now, with a lane. Reynolds looking for a tip. Blashuk got a piece of it, but not on net. And now will come back for Reynolds. Another chance from the side. Tipped again by Blashuk and somehow saved by Ebley. Burke will collect it, tries to spin it off the boards and out. Reynolds racing over, will hold it there for at least a couple of more seconds. Now it's worked free. KPC, they have numbers. Past the line, it's Geekus with a shot saved by Sasso, and Harrison is there for the rebound. Back up ice we go as Leroux has it. Works it for Reynolds. Twirls around as he brings it through the neutral zone. Reynolds on another shot, pad save. EI still with the momentum. Puck barely held in by Inga. Works it down the slot. Looks for a shot from Main Street, and it banks off the end boards. Kevin Schwartz with it now as he twirls through a couple of players off the high glass and out. This is Coyle trying to wrap around Freisum. His shot interrupted. Reynolds will take it. Accidentally turns it over. Coyle couldn't turn the edge. Turnaround shot saved by Sasso. Bamonti taken away by Inga. Another good check there for KPC as they keep it in the zone. Reynolds trying to play it away, but it belongs to Smith now. And he'll just expertly take it down the ice to kill off more time. What a smart play from Smith.
It's crunch time now for the Chiefs. It's now or never. Get something going here.
Freisum steps up in the neutral zone, gets it past the blue line, but not for long. KPC just trying to play a possession game with a $1:24 to play in regulation. Once again, the puck will belong to Brian Freisum. Looks for his brother in the neutral zone, then goes off for a change. Matthew with a long ranger. Big rebound, and Smith knocks it off. Still loose. Inga puts it in deep. Kearney there for it. Question is, can he get his team back possession? Smith with a chance to just send it down the ice will happily take the icing and a chance to reset for his team.
If there is a puck following what looks to be a Kings Park Commack victory that gets distributed to whoever was the best player on the ice tonight, it better go in the hands of Grayson Ebel, because man has he played phenomenal. So much pressure down low, and it's just save after save, nonetheless, especially in crunch time with the pressure that he has on him now. It's either him or Kevin Schwartz. I don't know who, man.
A lot of great players for this KPC team, considering Smith has scored 2 goals as well. Hard not to say that he's been one of the best on the ice.
.8, 2 goals down, and they are in an empty net as well now.
Shot saved by KPC, and they'll send it down the length of the ice again. It was an empty net, Magnus. I didn't even realize that. That was not far away from a 3-goal lead.
That's the risk you take, but hopefully trying to add on and give yourselves a chance. 44 to remain.
Kearney off the draw. Plashuk trying to hold the zone. LaRoe with it right now. Forced deep into the KPC zone. It's 6-on-5 on the ice, but EI have an empty net behind them, and KPC still controlling a 2-goal lead. Now the puck out of the zone. Pugh trying to pull up, looking for this shot, saved by Lemaire. Justin got back in time, but his team still in a desperate position. 15 seconds. Magnus, I don't think they're going to be able to do it. A 4-2 lead for KPC should hold through all 45 minutes of play, as one more icing will put us back into the night's end.
This looks to be it. East Islip appears to have nothing left. 5.4 seconds on the clock and a 2-goal deficit. I don't even think if you had your entire bench on, you'd have a chance at coming back just because of the time, but a good fight nonetheless from the Chiefs.
So it looks like KPC will advance to 4-1 on the season. East Islip will fall down to 3-2. And that will do it for our second game here on the South Rinks. One more matchup remains. That's St. Anthony's Black versus Smithtown Hauppauge Blue. Myself, Kevin Broderick, Magnus Healy, and Wally Mitchell will be providing that game action as well. But for now, we'll bid you farewell. Once again, KPC win. Final score 4-2.